following news from the CDC that 90% of Americans live in areas where face masks are no longer needed. Many states and cities have started easing COVID mask guidelines in schools. But it seems like not everyone has gotten the message that pandemic-era restrictions are winding down. Take a look at this convoy. Over 1,000 semi-trucks, recreational vehicles, and cars circled Washington, D.C.'s 64-mile-long Beltway twice on Sunday, clogging the highway to protest mask and vaccine mandates. They're part of the People's Convoy, and they plan to clog the Beltway each day this week until their demands are met. But get this, former child actor Ricky Schroder joined the convoy and had another public meltdown about mask requirements. Take a look at this encounter he had with a security guard at the Dwight D. Eisenhower Museum.
Dwight D. Eisenhower.
You can't come in.
I can't come into this museum
without a mask.
Without a mask. God's laws are higher than the federal government's, but you're going to enforce man's laws.
Yes, we are.
Dwight D. Eisenhower, the man who defeated the Nazis, and you've become one.
Wow. So DBL Nation, do you support the People's Convoy? Go to dblvote.com to weigh in.
Yeah.
What happens in like a month or a couple months or so when it's 100% no mask mandate? What's the new thing? I mean, I'm like super impressed that anybody can afford to block 64 miles the way that gas prices are right now.
Talk about
Wow.
privilege, right? Like, how silly do you look after what we just showed, right? That we're winding down the mask mandates. We're winning. We should all be on the same team, and yet you're whining and complaining over a security guard who, by the way, is doing his dang job.
But I think he is doing his job, Tori, and I think that's a way deeper conversation. I think we're losing a lot of the people that work in the service industry in any kind of way because of this. I told you guys I was in LA a couple weeks ago, and I had to go to a CVS twice in one day, and both times there was somebody berating the manager. It's a different manager, different person. I was, when I got stuck in your hometown of Chicago a couple weeks ago, my flight officially got canceled, and I was going to stay overnight. I went to go get a cup of coffee from Starbucks, and it was a 20-year-old young black woman there. I 44, so she's a girl to me, but she's a woman. And you know, I go, "How's your day going?" She goes, "It's good. You know, there's been no flight cancellation, so people aren't being mean to me today." And I was like, "What do you mean by that?" And she said, "When a flight's canceled, just people walk over and they just say mean stuff."
Take it out on you.
So that's what we do to our waiters, waitresses, to our security guards, and it's cool. But now we don't have anybody working those shifts. Taco Bell, I know for a fact the one on Colorado, was closed for the dinner shift. Nobody at Taco Bell. Think of the potheads. Because there's nobody to work there because your uncles are going there being disrespectful to people. And guess what, guys? There's nobody at your favorite bar now. There's nobody working in Vegas. When I stay in hotels, there's maybe one person working, whereas it used to be 5 or 6. So this is great. This Ricky Schroder and everybody else is the reason we're living like this. Sorry, I took up the whole segment.
It has to do with social media again, because you have a group of people validating his behavior, applauding his behavior, calling him, you know, a real patriot. First of all, thank you for calling it privilege. This is such a disgusting display of privilege, considering all the people who are really suffering over in Ukraine. It's also a display of absolute privilege when you look at someone like Eric and I, who lost people to COVID.
Right.
So not only is it that, but then you have to couple it with the fact that they do finally feel seen and heard within their group on social media, which gives them the power to continue this disgusting behavior. So I don't know where we go with it, because freedom of speech.
Right. Like, I'm all
what do you do?
I'm all for a protest. Like, I get that. I just think the timing of this is odd since we're winding it all down.
Well, it's kind of like a last-ditch effort.
Okay.
Like 90% no mandates. There's still 10.
Half of the truck convoy turned around, like in Nevada.
I don't understand.
Because the gas is high, like Erica said, bro.
Yeah, it looks like 74% of you do not support that convoy.